What's up, everybody? It's DJ Bob. Hope y'all all right. Tonight, yeah, everything's all right. Man, when y'all come in here, man, do me a favor, man, hit the like button. Subscribe. Y'all haven't already subscribed. And let me get right into this thing, man. I want to talk about Lil Boosie's federal gun charge. Over a few weeks, I've seen some videos, and people was all in dread mode for him, in a dreadful mood. Oh, it's over. It's over for him. Could be over for him. I know serving any amount of time away from your family and society, yeah, it's a rough thing. Nobody wants to be locked up. You know what I'm saying? The bears in the zoo don't want to be there. So what man or woman wants to be locked up if they're guilty or not? But yeah, but everybody is just like, oh, it's over. It's possibly over for him. Look, Boosie has done years on death row in Louisiana. He a grown man. And he did that when he was younger, real young. But I mean, he stood 10 toes down, got through that. Luckily, he beat the murder charges. But he's a grown man. He gonna be all right. No matter how bad they try to make it sound, a lot of these bloggers, and I know that I know they gotta pump it up dramatically. And if they was in that same situation, I'm quite sure it would be dramatic for them. But the real of it, man, he gonna be all right. Like I said, any amount of time away from your family, it's not good. Nobody wants to do that. But Boosie, he's taking it, he's taking it all right. He know what he's up against. He finally went in this morning, pled guilty. He trying to stand strong. He said he's tired of fighting it because he's been going back and forth with the feds for a couple of years. Because it was all surprise to him once the state dropped the charges on him. Soon he came out to court, feds locked him up. It was a couple years ago. He'd been going back and forth, with them. But he's just tired of fighting it. He want to get it behind him, go on and let them do what they're going to do so he can move on with his life. Now, if you ask me, it looked real good for him because really, felon in possession of a firearm is an automatic 5 years. Now, I hear that the prosecutor is only trying to give him 2 years. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. So he pled guilty, and they wasn't really putting a number out there, but nobody does a blind guilty plea. He knew what he was facing, but to somebody like him and his status, in the entertainment business, Boosie, he's been having it his way for a while. He's been coming up, making good money, So, yeah, if he got to go sit down for whatever amount of time, it's not good. But if they're offering him 2 years when the actual charge carries a mandatory 5 years for a felon in possession of a firearm, man, he's coming out, like they say, smelling like roses. Because with 2 years, that's 24 months, he'll have to serve, say, they always want to say you serve 85%, but it's really more like 89, 90%. So you'll say he'll be happen to serve about 20 months, a year and 8 months. But if they want to give him some halfway house, he can get 6 months or better, 6 to 8 months halfway house. He could probably end up serving a year, 14 months. So, can't do no better than that. He'll be, gone there for a minute and be right back out. Now, there was some talk about, people were talking about maybe he can get the drug program. If you charged with a gun, you can't get the drug program. But let me be specific on this. Now, see, I know all about this. I did 20 years in the feds for possession of crack cocaine. So you can do the drug program with a gun charge, but the time they take off, you're awarded a year off your sentence for doing the drug program. You just won't get the time off. So let me make that clear. So he can do the program, but he won't get no relief from it. So more than likely, he's not going to even enroll in the drug program. He'll probably end up doing about 14 months. And his security level is not high, because I think he got 2 prior drug charges, which they're not going to really trip off. He's going to more than likely go to a camp and it's going to be in California. So it'll be sunny out there at least. But yeah, man, I just had to come on here and say some stuff about this, because everybody's making a big deal out of it. And it is a big deal because nobody wants to go to prison. But even though I know he's facing up to 15 years, the prosecutor already said that they just want him to do 2 years. Man, look, can't beat that, man. Take them 2 years, probably end up doing a year. You back home, man. You back home to your family. Now, like I say, it's really the charges carries a mandatory 5. Yeah, I know my relative, I know he wish he could have got a year for it or 2 years for it. When he called his gun charge, me and him, shit, after 19 years, we met up in the same camp. But yeah, it's 2 years, man. Look, he can do it. He'll be all right. The thing is that don't you be out here getting caught with no guns, being a felon in possession. Now, what I'm doing, I'm looking into getting my record expunged. I filed for me a pardon, so at least, yeah, niggas can carry, trying to carry legal. That's the way to go. All you ex-felons out there, try to get your record expunged. And, cause we getting up there in age, I'm hopefully that your thoughts in your head, is on straight, and you're not doing the stuff that you were doing back when you was 18, 19, 20. So you could carry legally, protect your family and all that. That's the thing to do. That's all we want to do, you know. But yeah, but shout out to Boosie, man. Shout out to him just gone, trying to get it over with, taking a plea. They had him, they had him dead to the right. He wasn't gonna win that, fighting that, so good thing he just, played guilty and trying to get it over with. But yeah, that's what it's looking like for him, y'all. Don't count the man out, because it ain't over for him, But that's what it's looking like for him. So everybody come in, like the video, subscribe. It's all good. Yeah. DJ Bop. I'm out of here. 1.